Everybody. So today I'm just going to show you how to fake some what is it called? Motion blur. Okay. I mean, there's depth of field and stuff. It does look a bit like motion blur here, but let's take a look and see how we can fake a bit of motion blur. Look, I've got this on a separate layer. The girl, okay, Warner girl, and I'm going to duplicate her. So I'm going to take the duplicated layer. I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to go to blur and motion blur. Okay, so there we go. Get some of the motion, put in like the right kind of a way, not too much. There we go. That's what you're looking for. Something like a 47, even less than that, something like that. You can see how subtle it starts becoming. Now, once you've got that, you can take away the eraser tool. So this is how I kind of just cheated quickly. Obviously, I put some time in it, but I'm going to go on the layer of the motion blur. You can see if I take it away, that's what I get. And it's looking pretty damn cool. But, you know, sometimes I want to have something that I can see. So I start taking the motion blur layer and I start kind of just pressing back so I can start getting the details again of what I want. You know, if I want to see some details in the sword, let's say, start bringing it out like that. You know, get some of the there on there. You know, some of the veins on the legs. So I can start kind of deleting some of the parts where I want to see the detail. And this is where the power of this comes into. You don't have to do the whole thing. It doesn't, not necessary. And that's it. You know, put something on the hand. Maybe I want to see the hand a bit there and whatever. And you can start seeing that I start getting this really kind of a cool look on the subject that I'm getting. And you can guide where the motion blur is, which is awesome. So another one is kind of like, let's say this dude, boy, hey boy, let's just duplicate him quickly. I'm going to duplicate him right. I want to duplicate. I'm just going to shove everything together there. Let's bring him above the girl, and now I can switch off the boy. There he is. Okay. So basically, I'm going to duplicate him. Let's say I want to see some motion blur on him. Blur, motion blur, and this time, you know, I kind of want his hammer, the hammer, something like that. Put some real cool. Look for a cool direction that you're going in. Something like that could be quite cool. And from there, once again, I can just take on my, you know, I don't want to see motion blur here or anything. I don't need it here. Something like that. You know, get his details back. You know, leave it a bit on the leg, maybe somewhere a little bit there. Whatever. I want it on the hammer, so that's looking pretty cool. You know, the arm wouldn't be moving that much over here. You know, get some of that detail back. And it's that kind of a thing. Look how quick and easy you can start getting this kind of a feel, kind of a, you know, quick blur on something. Look at the blur over here, his things moving. You can clean that up a little bit or whatever. Let's put that back. That was looking actually pretty cool. But you can start seeing now how you can start getting some cool kind of results. Look, he's bringing that, yielding that hammer back. You know, a little bit of blur where it should be, where the part should move the most. And that's the hammer and these kind of things. So it's a very crude way of doing it. I mean, this is an unfinished image. It's in the beginning of another image. I think I'm going to kill it because I don't like it. But this is just kind of a nice way of how you can start getting a little bit of blur onto your character. You can also put your opacity down and just start kind of brushing it out a little bit, you know, getting it kind of where you want it the most. You know, it's subtle things. Remember, everything you do, kind of try and keep it a little bit subtle. It's the key. It's the key to everything. And it's what makes things look really cool. So I hope that helps with motion blur. It's just a quick, easy way of doing it. You know, I know something like iRay doesn't support motion blur, which is kind of weird. It's weird, okay? So maybe this does help a little bit, and that's how I usually cheat. Obviously, I put the time and the effort into it, and I get where I want it, and then I start bringing out the details of what I want to see, and that's important. You know, it's getting the details of what you want. So, you know, I like the veins and stuff, and I like a lot of cool things. So I use it, not you, not you, not you, filter, blur, motion blur. And, you know, you can get some really cool looking results. Just got to be a little bit careful, people. And you don't need to go mental. I mean, that already is cool. but I want to see a face. I want to see the veins. I want to see the legs. I want to see that ear. Uh, so, it's these kind of things where I want to kind of just blend them out a little bit. I want to see a bit of that detail. It's those kind of things, and you can get really cool motion blur things that look really cool with subtlety. Just on the edge of the foot there, or just on the side of the sword. I want to see that kind of sword and thing. I want to see your hair a little bit more. You don't have to go mental. It's just little areas where you need to start working on, and you can get that nice kind of a, see that? Nice kind of a blur on things. You can still go more and take away things and add things and whatever, but it's subtle, but it's there, and that's what makes it good motion or whatever. You don't need to hide everything. I mean, over here, I could put her completely in motion blur, but I lose all my details. I lose everything I wanted to see. I want to still see things, and I want to still see her face, and I want to still see her teeth and things like this, and I want to see these kind of things. So be clever with it. I love the details in this kind of a thing, so I want to see those. So I want to keep them. But like little bits of blur on things, and look how different things start to look. You can start adding a lot of power, and with that, you can always take like just this part, and you can copy and paste it, and you can put on a way better. You can control it. That's the cool thing about Photoshop. You can control shit, and that's what makes it really powerful. Boom! Look at that. Look at that. And then you can start getting a hell of a, start adding power onto that, but it's okay, it's too much up here, so you can start kind of blending it out a little bit, something like that, but you can start seeing it's over there because actually it would be the other way, it doesn't matter, whatever. But you can start seeing how cool and how much control you can have over creating your own kind of blurs on something. So, everybody, I hope that helps. And this is just a little taste. You need to put in the time and effort and stuff, but it's just a real quick way of creating really cool motion into your still images. Because I know iRate doesn't do motion blur for some odd reason, but other renderers will. But I'm saying if you're doing a still and you just get a still out and you don't want to add blur or anything, and then you want to add it in afterwards, there's easy ways of doing it, and this is one of those. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon.